You have got to be kidding me. After all this time, now? Really? I don't believe this. Ain't this some bull? I was hesitant about doing this, but then I thought, all right, yes, so it finally happened. After taking cruises since 2020, after my last cruise, for the first time ever, I tested positive for the virus. It's like, really? After all this time? Now, at this time, this is 2024, so I debated on whether to even talk about this or not. I told, my family and friends, of course, and then I debated about making a video on it. At this time, it's like, I don't think it's that huge of a deal to people anymore. But then I thought, well, people still ask me about, getting the virus on the ship or after a cruise. Do I still worry about it? And I had never experienced it before, and I wasn't worried about it. So I thought, well, since now I have experienced it, maybe I can shed some light on what it's like to, at least my experience, on what it's like to experience it today in 2024 after a cruise. Not that everybody is going to be the same or have the same experience, but at least I can share what I went through and how I feel about things now. But first, how did I find out and why didn't I notice immediately? Well, actually, I would say probably about day 3 or so on the cruise, because I remember it was a couple of the days before the cruise ended, well, my nose started to run. But that didn't stand out as significant to me because I have allergies and my nose runs here and there every now and then all the time. So it wasn't something that stood out as different to me. I'm a person who has allergies, who has allergic reactions, and my nose runs, my eyes water. So it's a common occurrence to me. So it didn't stand out as being different. Also, digestive differences. Well, with my gluten intolerance, that changes all the time. So that didn't stand out as anything different to me either. It was the same things that I've experienced for years and years and years. So when I got off the ship, I actually thought I just had a cold. Because again, nothing felt different. Until 5 days after I got off the ship, I lost my sense of taste and smell. And that's the only thing that made me think, okay, that it could possibly be the virus. Again, my sickness wasn't anything that was out of the ordinary, anything that I hadn't experienced before from either my allergies or just being gluten intolerant. So once I lost taste and smell, then I thought, okay, we might have something here. So I ordered tests off of Amazon. I didn't have tests at home, and they came in the afternoon and I tested, and immediately, bam, it took no time for the results to show up immediately once I tested. So once I got sick, so now I'm like, okay, what do I do? So I didn't know if I needed to take medication or, what happens. Well, and I started doing research, and apparently now it's just a matter of isolating, which is what I do since I live alone. I isolate naturally, and a lot of times I'm so busy that I order my groceries anyway. So basically for me, it was like business as usual. Just wait it out. And not to mention that, here in Florida with a balcony, this is not a bad place to, isolate. Now, of course, one of the things you think about is, man, how could I have gotten this? Especially I've taken so many cruises since the restart, and I've never gotten sick before. So how did this happen? Of course, you can never pinpoint exactly where or exactly how you got it or who gave it or who passed it along. You can't. Well, to me, that's something that I can't determine. But I did think usually before I go on a cruise, I'm one to keep up with my boosters and everything. But I didn't. I forgot. And I remembered a couple of days before the cruise that I hadn't gotten the latest booster, but there was no time. Or if I hadn't gotten it right before the cruise or right when I remembered, well, it might not have been enough time to take effect. on this, I was on Virgin and I was trying to mix and mingle a little bit more just to get that Virgin experience. And get the Virgin experience I did. No, not the virus. I had a great time. That was one of the best cruises I've had. It was just a good experience. I usually don't hang out in the club, and Virgin had me in the club until like 1:45, 2 o'clock a.m. I never do that. It was a good time. I had a blast. So now that I think about it, yeah, thinking back, not having the latest booster plus all that mixing and mingling that I did. Now, that's just my guess, because who knows? I could have had the latest booster and mixed and mingled and still gotten the virus. I mean, you just never know. So, I mean, hey, I just got it. I mean, I could have done other things. I could have mixed and mingled less, and I still could have gotten it because I was around other people. I mean, same here. People still get the virus on land. They still get the virus on the ship. So what has it been like for me? Like I said, I just thought I had a cold. The only way I discovered it is when I lost my sense of smell and taste. After that, sometimes I think sickness can also be mental, because before that, I felt like I was feeling fine. But once the test came back positive, then I slowly started getting other symptoms. Maybe that was just the virus running its course. So yeah, I did experience a little fatigue over the next couple of days. And then there was just like strange things happening. Even before that, I do remember having a coughing fit. Then the coughing went away, and then I started sneezing. I just started sneezing. And then that went away. And then that's when I lost my sense of taste and smell. And then after that, I started feeling around and I could feel my lymph nodes swelling. So that just told me, hey, my body's in there fighting for me, fighting to try to get this virus out of my body. And then, like I said, a little fatigue. Also, I went through a bout of feeling chills. Just all of a sudden, I would just feel chills. It would just come and go. And that lasted for, I think, about 2 days. That went away. And then my sinuses became really, really dry to where I was just drinking water constantly. Now, I was trying to increase my water intake because I was looking things up. What do I do? What did I do? Well, I didn't need to take any medication unless I was feeling really, really bad, which I never felt really, really bad. But I was drinking a lot of water, making sure that I stayed hydrated. But for about 2 days, I mean, my sinuses, my nose, and my throat just felt really, really dry. So I have a face steamer. I use my face steamer to get moisture inside my nostrils and inside my throat. So that actually worked and did the trick for me. That helped out a lot. Going back to losing the sense of smell and taste, well, it's very, very faint. Like if it was on a scale of 1 to 100, I can smell and taste about 2%. I can tell if something is sweet or salty or minty. My toothpaste, I can tell that it's toothpaste. I can't taste the flavor, but I can tell that it's minty. I had pancakes. The butter on my pancakes, it was horrible. It felt like it's like I can't taste the flavor, but it felt like I was eating sour milk. And I mean like the curdled sour milk. But all in all, if I had to get it at all, I'm thankful that I got it now, because if these are all the symptoms I've had back in the day, it was much, much worse. My symptoms are light, but I still take this seriously because I'm Gen X. I'm older. And also because I have high blood pressure. Even getting it today, it's still a concern to me and what it might do to my body. So I still take it very seriously. And I'm glad that my symptoms were on the mild side. So where are we now? Well, today is 5 days after I tested positive, and I did take a test this morning and it's still positive. Although I guess the test line is a lot lighter. Hopefully that's a positive thing. It's a lot lighter, so the recommendation is for me to test again maybe in 2 days. So I'll test it and hopefully we'll get this thing out of my system. So will I solo cruise again, or will I cruise again? Now, you know the answer to that question is yes. No, this will not stop me from solo cruising. This will not stop me from cruising. It does not strike up fear in me. And not to say that I'm not afraid of getting the virus again, because just because I had this reaction this time, who knows? It could be worse in the future because the virus keeps changing. Who knows what the next strain will be like? It's not that I'm not afraid of getting it again, but no, it's not making me fearful of going out and cruising any more than it's making fearful for me to go out in my neighborhood, go to the beach, go to the grocery store, go to the movie theater. I mean, it's out there everywhere. It doesn't just live on cruise ships, it lives on land too. But will I do things differently? Yes. Next time. Not to say that this was 100% guaranteed, but yes, next time I will make sure that I am up to date on my boosters. Now, I know that's a personal preference. I'm not getting into whether it works or not, whether, it's good or not. That's up for you to decide for you. But for me, when I was up to date on my boosters, whether I was around a crowd or not on a cruise ship, I didn't get sick. So I'm just going to go back to what was tried and true for me. And, if I get sick again, at least I know that I did all that I could do to protect myself. So basically these days, actually, I feel almost 100% except for a little congestion, in my sinuses. But as far as the fatigue is gone now, I feel normal. So I'm just waiting to test negative. And it sounds like my sense of smell and taste, that might take a few weeks more, according to other people who have experienced this. So what I've been doing is I'm drinking margaritas to see, if I can taste it. And that way, once I taste the margarita, then I know that I have my sense of smell and taste back. So in the meantime, I'm just, drinking margaritas. The only reason I really wanted to share this video is because I do get questions about, am I fearful of getting the virus on the ship, or what happens, if I get the virus on the ship. So now it's finally happened. So I just wanted to share my experience. I hope that this doesn't make you fearful of cruising solo, cruising at all. It does not make me fearful or hesitant. I have several cruises booked already, and I plan on taking them all as long as I test negative. But all in all, I would say, just like I would tell you not to let friends and family hold you back from cruising to cruise solo, I would say don't let the fear of any virus hold you back from cruising or solo cruising. But, well, that's my perspective, and that's what I choose to do. So you have to make the choices that are best for you. So I wanted to make this video not because I didn't finish editing my vlog this week. I mean, that is true, but no, it's not. Yeah, that's true. I mean, not only because of that, but I really wanted to share this with you because people asked.